Hello and welcome to the English Listen Lab. Today, we bring you an inspiring story for A1 level English learners. This is the journey of a young motorcycle racer who was once a rising star in the world of motorsports. However, a terrible accident changed everything. But instead of giving up, he found a new way to race and return to the top. Let's begin this amazing story. The Racer's Comeback, a story of strength and determination. Chapter 1, The Fastest Young Racer. Leo loved speed. Ever since he was a little boy, he dreamed of becoming a professional motorcycle racer. By the age of 18, he had already won many races. People called him the fastest young racer. He had everything: fame, money, and fans. Leo's biggest dream was to win the world championship. He trained every day, pushing himself to the limit. His teammates respected him, and his fans loved him. He felt unstoppable. But life can change in an instant. Chapter 2, The Accident. It was the biggest race of the year. Thousands of people watched as Leo took the lead. His bike roared as he sped around the track. Victory was close. Then, disaster struck. On the final lap, Leo's bike lost control. He crashed at full speed. The crowd gasped. His team rushed to him. Everything went dark. When Leo woke up in the hospital, he saw his parents crying. He tried to move, but he couldn't feel his legs. The doctor looked at him sadly and said, "Leo, we had to remove your legs." Leo's world shattered. Chapter 3, A Life Without Racing. The news spread quickly. The young champion was now disabled. His teammates visited him once, but soon they stopped coming. The media no longer talked about him. Fans who once cheered for him now forgot his name. Leo fell into deep sadness. He thought, "I can never race again. My life is over." For months he stayed in his room, staring at the ceiling. He ignored calls, messages, and even his parents' words. He felt like a broken man. Then, one day, something changed. Chapter 4, A New Beginning. Leo's old coach, Mr. Carter, visited him. He brought a video of a special motorcycle race. The riders were not ordinary. They were disabled racers, riding specially designed bikes. Leo watched in shock. These racers had lost their legs too, but they still raced. They still had speed, skill, and passion. Mr. Carter looked at Leo and said, "You can still race, Leo, if you want it. I will help you." For the first time in months, Leo felt hope. He decided to try. Chapter 5, Training Again. Training was hard. Leo had to learn everything again. His new bike had special controls, and he needed time to adjust. At first, he was slow. He fell many times. He got frustrated, but every time he fell, he got back up. Day by day, he improved. His body grew stronger. His confidence returned. The speed, the excitement, it was all coming back. One day, Mr. Carter smiled and said, "Leo, you are ready." But was the world ready for him? Chapter 6, The First Race Back. After months of intense training, Leo was ready for his first race as a disabled rider. The event was small, but to him, it meant everything. He lined up at the starting grid, heart pounding. As the race began, he felt the familiar rush of adrenaline. But his new bike was different, and controlling it required all his focus. At first, he struggled. Other racers passed him. Doubt crept in. Was this a mistake? Then, something clicked. His instincts took over. He maneuvered through turns, his confidence returning with every lap. He didn't win, but he finished strong. And that was enough. Chapter 7, The Road to Recognition. Leo kept racing. Each event pushed him to improve. He studied his competitors, refined his techniques, and trained harder than ever. The racing community started noticing. Journalists wrote about his comeback. Fans returned. Some still doubted him, but others saw him for what he was, a fighter. One day, he received an invitation to a major championship for disabled racers. This was his chance to prove himself on the world stage. He accepted without hesitation. Chapter 8, Facing his doubters. Not everyone believed in Leo. Critics claimed he was a washed-up racer. Others said he was only getting attention because of his accident, not his skill. Instead of arguing, Leo let his racing speak for itself. At the championship, he faced the best disabled racers in the world. The competition was fierce, but Leo had something others didn't. He had already lost everything once. He had nothing to fear. The final race was brutal. Every turn, every overtake was a battle. But when he crossed the finish line, he saw the number on the screen. First place. He had done it. Chapter 9. A champion again. Winning the championship was more than just a title. It was proof that he was still a racer, still a competitor. Offers poured in, sponsorships, interviews, speaking engagements. He had gone from being forgotten to being an icon of resilience. But Leo wanted more. He didn't just want to race for himself, he wanted to inspire others. He started a foundation to help young disabled athletes get into motorsports. He trained them, shared his experience, and gave them hope that no setback was too great to overcome. Chapter 10. Legacy on the track. Years passed, but Leo never stopped racing. He continued competing, breaking barriers, and proving that disability did not mean defeat. His story became legendary. New racers looked up to him. His name became synonymous with perseverance. One day, a young boy approached him after a race. "I lost my leg in an accident," he said, "but after watching you, I know I can still chase my dreams." Leo smiled. This was his greatest victory. Thank you for following Leo's incredible journey. His story proves that setbacks can lead to new beginnings and that true champions never stop fighting. If you enjoyed this story and want to hear more inspiring tales, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications. Stay tuned for more amazing stories from the English Listen Lab. See you next time.